Okay, I'm actually going to try to make a recording where I kind of stay on track because I always get off track and just, talk about this, talk about that. I'm actually going to try to make a recording where I kind of stay on track. Um, I just have a feeling that this Resurrection Sunday is unique. I believe it's the beginning of a new era. I also believe it's not only going to be the turnaround for this country. I also believe it's going to be the turnaround for Christian, and it's also going to be a Passover moment. Let me see when Resurrection Sunday and Passover. Let me check and see what the differences are here real quick. Okay, hang on with me. I was watching your Passover miracle about Sid Roth, and that's where this stuff came. And I don't even know what he's going to talk about here. I only got 3 minutes into his video. But I don't know if he knows that there's something big. I really believe this. There's too much evidence out there that something big is going to happen this 4th. And let me see the difference between Passover and Resurrection Sunday. Or I mean, when is Passover? Let me try this again. When is Passover 2021?
Passover will begin in the evening of Saturday, March 27th, 2021, and ends in the evening of Sunday, April 4th.
Oh my goodness, it's Passover today. Oh, that's strange. I just quit my Egypt job today. Wow. I didn't even know. That's bizarre. Not really, though, but. Oh man, I don't even have anything to do communion with. Oh my goodness. I should have known that Resurrection Sunday, you have Passover first. And then Resurrection Sunday's later. See, resurrection represents the resurrection. See, there's more to resurrection than what you think. Resurrection is kind of what you see. Isn't resurrection more what you see when the children of Israel actually made it out of Egypt after the armies got destroyed? Because Passover was what gave them the power. Passover gave them the power oh, I didn't know this was Passover. Whoa. Crazy. But Passover is where you get the power to overcome your enemies. That means you're blameless. You're blameless. And I just quit my Egypt job today. This is insane. Now I know this wasn't an accident. Because I thought, how could this job this job rose up against me. It's been stressing me for ever since I've been there. This Egypt job. And finally they rose up and they did something that just crossed my line. And I decided I thought, you know something, I'm going to quit. Because it's really about greed. This company, I'm almost tempted to have to mention the name of the company, but I let it go. This company's greedy. Yeah, I better not mention the company. I don't want people in my business. I got some people that stalk me. So I broadcasted for about 10 years on a secular site because I was so lonely. I couldn't be around Christians, and that's a long story. I mean, I could have been around real Christians, but these Christians weren't real enough. Too much satanic DNA in them. At least the leaders. But this is bizarre. You don't know how bizarre this is. Because I just quit my Egypt job. Today. And I had no clue that this was Passover. I was... And I know this is crazy. I don't keep track of stuff like this, but... I mean, soon, once I get a chance, I'm going to be really in tune on all this stuff. But I've been in a battle of survival, just like the children of Israel have been in a battle of survival, in Egypt, just trying to survive. That's where I've been as a Christian. And it's not that God still wasn't working powerfully and giving me information and preparing me for this very day. Because he has been. But this, sometimes, Jesus was ready by age 30. I mean, I'm 62 and I'm just getting ready to begin. Like this April 4th, I believe, is going to be my beginning that I've been waiting for all my life. And it's already started. I've had an Egypt job. I've had Egypt jobs since 2008 when that Shemitah judgment fell. I think it was a Shemitah judgment. Boy, and I got hit hard. I was on, I think, the sinful end of it all, and boy, did I get hit hard. And when's the next meet? It's 2022, isn't it? I'm gonna get hit good on that one. But and speaking of the next Shemitah, there's a prophecy that ties into everything I'm talking about from Kim Clement on April 4th, 2008, where he talks about two presidents, I think. That means it's going to take till Trump goes back in office. I guess it's going to take a year. A year of the Shemitah. Because that's the prophecy. See, the reason I think I know this is because there was a Kim Clement. There was two Kim Clement prophecies, and they just have to be on April 4th. One was in 2007. One was in 2008. They're both on April 4th. And I'll show them to you in a little bit here. But the Trump prophecy on 2007 hasn't come to pass yet. But what most people don't know is every 14 generations represents a turning point. Like from Abraham to David was 14 generations. From Abraham to David, if I'm getting right, 14 generations. From David to Babylon, 14 generations. Babylon to Christ, 14 generations. Then from Christ to, anyway, you see another downward. But these are upward and downward swings, like you would see on let's say, the price of gold, a graph. So, the reason it's 14 stands out to me, it's been 14 years since Kim Clement's prophecy, and that 14 just happens to line up with April 4th, 2021. It was 2007, so if you subtract 2021 from 2007, you get 14 years. And 14 represents a turning point, because from Abraham to David, you had an upward rise of Israel until they peaked out at David, and really in Solomon's time, where they're bringing him gold and everything. And you see him bringing gold at Passover. All the Egyptians brought gold to them in Passover. When Jesus was born, they brought gold. Passover, after the firstborn died, you see him bringing gold to him. So, there was a wealth transition. But from it's 14 years from Clem Clement's prophecy. How did he know that all this stuff was going to be going down on April 4th on Resurrection Sunday 2020? And I know no one knows that this stuff's going to happen, but I just believe it's going to happen because I've heard too many other prophecies that tie in with what's going to happen. And I don't really have time to do it right. But it can't be an accident that I just quit my job on Passover. It cannot be an accident. But then it makes me wonder, maybe because I didn't take communion, maybe Satan was able to attack me and do this thing. I don't know. I don't know. That's always possible, I guess. But if I go by what happened in Passover, no, this is me getting delivered from this job. Because it's an Egypt job. It's a job with no benefits. You only make $12 an hour. The job I lost in 2008, I was making 3 times in the medical field, 3 times what I'm making right now. I was making $36 an hour, 3 times more. So and I had benefits for a very small price. So this is an Egypt job for me, and it's been a hell job. I mean, it's been. You ever seen the movie in Private Ryan where they're being assaulted on the beach? Where they take the beach, in the beginning of the movie, and they're being like assaulted. That's how it felt for me at this job. When I first was doing it, oh my goodness. It didn't start out that way, but it got to that point where, oh my gosh, what a hell it became. I just can't even believe it was that bad. I mean, sometimes things can be that bad on an emotional level and even a spiritual level. But not physically. But it was like the movie in Private Ryan where you're in this war zone. That's how bad it is. The job was. I mean, that's the way it felt for me on an emotional, spiritual level. Whew. It was so bad. Some of these jobs out here. But once I got out of the medical field, then I got forced out of the medical field. And it was a turning point of how I learned about this 14 generation thing. Anyway, let's stay focused. I'm not doing it. I'm not staying focused. I haven't even had any sleep, so because I quit my job it just makes you start thinking about the future and this and that, and what I'm going to do or this or that. And but now I feel kind of comforted that this happened on Passover, because this is more of a. I believe this is my moment, and not just mine. I think everyone. I think this is a new era. And anything can happen from this point forward, to be honest with you. We see the children of Israel after they came out of Egypt, um, things didn't go so well. So sometimes getting out of Egypt, is you've got to play it right. I mean, you really do. You got to play it right. I mean, you can't be going back to sin. Can't be sinning. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in the wilderness. So even though it's a new era, it's no joke. It's no joke. It's time to it's time to really, you only live once, and it's time to do it. I don't have any other time left, really. I ain't getting no younger. And I think that happens to people if they don't move into their Canaan land. They kind of fade out. God takes care of them like in the wilderness, and they fade out. You know. But I think I'm up for the challenge. It's not. Jesus says my burden's light. You know. And he knows I'm old and been beat half to death. But there's another thing. When they came out of Egypt, when they did the Passover, they got killed of all infirmities. And they got cured of all their infirmities, I think, because it said they want to. See how God hides stuff? Things are hidden in Christianity. It's not. I don't know if that just blatantly announces that. It presents the fact, but it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know. That's a big thing. That means all your infirmities. That means you go out healed, completely healed. I guess I'm going to have to take communion. I'm going to have to do communion. Like right now. It'll begin in the evening, March 21st. So I ain't missed it. Wow. But the reason I want to talk about all this stuff is because this is, I just feel this is different. I'm trying to get focused now. Maybe I should start this recording over again. I don't know. Wow, I can't believe this is Passover. I mean, I still can't believe I quit my job on Passover. This is crazy. Yeah, I got to leave this on here. Because this is the only way people will know that God's actually moving in my life. I quit my Egypt job on this day, and I didn't know it was Passover. I had no clue. And this video kind of shows it. Wow. I mean, I had a feeling that this I knew God was in it because the work was so the night went so fast after I discovered I was going to quit my job because some big change the big company decided to do without considering how it would affect me. And the night was just, it went so quick. I never seen time go so fast, for one. Number two, I never seen, it's end of the quarter, and end of the quarter, it's usually busy. Usually things are just slamming at work because the company's in a rush to make money and to make it look good at the end of the quarter. The opposite happened. It was so peaceful and quiet. There's nothing happening that was supposed to be happening. And it was like it was completely planned by God because I usually print out how many customers I think are going to show up at work on sheets. And I used the exact number of sheets. Or no, I think I used one extra. I guess I'm wrong on that one. Or no, I didn't use them. Or did I? I don't think I did. But I think it was almost the exact number of sheets I'd printed out hours before, which you have no clue how many customers you're going to have to deal with. But I think it came down to almost the exact number of sheets. It's like, oh, but anyway, how far am I? How long am I into this video? And I haven't even. I mean, who wants to even listen to this? The way I'm doing this, babbling and rambling. But the thing is, that I think that this March 4th, and I'm gonna try to stay focused. I think this April 4th, which is 4-4, and like I've said before, God is in the King James Version Bible 4,444 times, and there's just millions of fours in the Bible. I just found out that there were 4 lepers that delivered Israel. I always thought it was 3. And see, Christians would think of people like me as a leper. They would think of me as the leper, the Christian. I couldn't pull out my Christian walk. I just couldn't get it together. And they would think of me as a leper. But the leper's the one that delivered Israel when they were eating babies. And that's why in the Bible, that's why in the Bible it says, Jesus actually makes a statement and he says, I was a stranger and I forget the scripture, but he says, you were friendly with me. I was in prison and you went to me. I was thirsty and you gave me a drink. See, if you're in that state, you've probably been attacked by Satan and been living in sin, but that's a very valuable lost sheep to Jesus. And you got to remember, Moses was a stranger in a strange land after he sinned and murdered a man. He was in the same spiritual state. Satan had legal right. He murdered somebody. You just can't murder anyone because you think you're in the right. And he murdered an Egyptian. He murdered a man. And that man's blood demanded justice, and he lost his position. And he had to run for his life. And he found mercy. Somebody wouldn't have took him in. He was homeless. Just like Christians are out on the street homeless. You don't see any ministries taking them in. You see the ministries are catering to oh, come on into my church. But you don't see churches catering to the homeless, because those are the people that really need help. If the emergency room did the same thing that Christians do, and I'm not saying I'm any better, but I've helped some people who are in a bad state. It's but in an emergency room, if I remember one time I ended up in an emergency room, these guys about killed me. So I was hit in the head about 33 times and had my shoulder dislocated. And his shoulder was so painful, it was unreal. I never felt pain like that before. It felt like, like when someone's stretching. Have you ever stretched your leg out, doing stretching exercises, and you reach a point where you're holding that stretch and you can't hold it any longer because of the pain? Well, magnify that times 10 or 20, and then not be able to release that stretch that you're trying to do. That's what it felt. My shoulder felt like. Whew, that was painful. It was just agonizing. I wonder if Jesus felt that when he was on the cross. Ooh. When his arms were being pulled. Whoa. Never thought about that one. Well, that's the first time I ever had that thought. Oh my goodness. Huh. Oh my God. Sometimes we don't realize just how painful things are until you've experienced something. You don't really know how painful it is. But I bet that's what that felt like. I never thought about that. Oh my goodness. I mean, they thought, wow. Man, that was bad. Hmm. But anyway, I just think that this Resurrection Sunday, and I ain't had no sleep, to be honest with you. I almost feel like calling off work. I ain't got time to sleep hardly. Man. I'm just spent. But I'm going to finish this real quick. I just really think that this. I can't do it. Hmm. Anyway. Yeah, I guess I better go to bed. Let me finish this, Kim Clement's video in 2007 talked about a turning point. Maybe I'll just download the video and try again for another one. I'm just going to stop this one, download it, and do another one. And do it right. And stay focused. I just feel this is important, what happened. The fact that I quit my job on Passover. And I gotta take Passover before I go to bed too. Maybe I'll do that at the end of I definitely have to take Passover. So I'm gonna stop this video, get my Passover stuff ready, and start another video. Finish this right.